They have a lot of problems at Twitter. You see what's going on. It may make it, it may not make it, but the problems are incredible. The engagements are negative, and you have a lot of bots and you have a lot of fake accounts, which I think they should get on. But Truth Social has taken the place for a lot of people, and I don't see them going back onto Twitter.
Truth Social is trading as ticker symbol DJT on the NASDAQ. Trump launched Truth Social in early 2022 after he was banned from the major social media platforms. It's marketed as opposition to mainstream media apps, which Trump and his supporters allege discriminate against conservative views and limit free speech. While Trump's involvement with Truth Social has generated some attention for the social media app, the long-term success of the company will depend on its ability to attract and retain users.
We're seeing it in Bitcoin, and we're seeing it in SPACs, we're seeing it in IPOs, we're seeing it in last day dated options. There is a lot of speculation out there. And let's face it, I don't know the exact number, but roughly half the country is supporting Donald Trump, and he's got some financial difficulties. I think there's a lot of people out there that just say, I'm going to buy the stock just to help the Donald, and they're doing it. Now, would I touch the stock personally? No. From a financial standpoint, the first 9 months of 2023 had roughly $3 million of revenue, and they've lost tens of millions of dollars so far. So I think this is part of that incredible speculation. By the way, DJT, do you ever see that ticker symbol before? I did. It was Trump's casino that went into bankruptcy, and the stock was delisted in 2004. So hopefully for him, better karma second time around.
Truth Social could struggle to monetize its platform effectively. Unlike established platforms that have robust advertising models and monetization strategies in place, new apps must find creative ways to generate revenue without alienating their user base. This often involves striking a delicate balance between providing value to users and generating income.
What will the dominant platforms look like? What will the main features be about? And of course, I can talk about the different ways technology might change and shape social media, for example, augmented reality, artificial intelligence. But here's what's most important. Today's platforms will eventually go away. Although social media is still relatively a young industry, we can already start to see the shape of its life cycle and the players within it. So whether it's Instagram, TikTok, wherever being a content creator is important to you, or whatever it is that you do on social media, expect the platform to eventually go away. But that doesn't mean your value goes away. It means you need to know what is your competitive advantage. How are you providing value for people, irrespective of the platform or tool you use to deliver it? That's your competitive advantage. And it's really important that you carve that out.
The Washington Post reported that CEO and president of Trump Media, Devin Nunes, is doing well despite the company's struggles. According to the report, Nunes made $750,000 in base salary last year, which was bumped to a solid $1 million this year.
Is it just about elections, the conversation, or is it broader than that? What can you tell us about the users of Truth Social right now and how they compare to your competition on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter?
Well, look, we're the only game in town. I mean, obviously those companies have been around for, a decade, 2 decades, sometimes longer. And, after that, we're the next big game in town, and we're the only one that's going to be able to compete with them. So as you'll remember, one of the things we set out to do when we built Truth Social was we looked at what's the best of Facebook, what's the best of Instagram, what's the best of TikTok, what's the best of Twitter? How do we put it into one app? Well, now we're doing something and been testing something that no one's done, and that is, how do you give a home to canceled channels, to canceled documentaries? How do you put streaming into our app? That's something that we're testing. We have tens of thousands of people that are actually now using it. So you have these legacy big companies, cable companies, satellite companies, et cetera. So how do we take the best of, say, a Netflix, an Xfinity, a Sling, and how do you put that, integrate it into our app where ultimately it can also be used to cut the cord as people want to get to more family-friendly type of content? That's what we're going to provide. Now, look, we're a home for everybody. We're a home for everybody, which is why it's not just President Trump, one of the most iconic brands in the last 100 years. I mean, that's a big reason why, we know that we're popular.
Currently, Trump Media and Technology Group has a market cap of $4 to $5 billion. As the CEO, Nunes is expected to defend the company. Nunes affirms that the company's mission is to protect the people against the power of big tech.
So if you actually look at the cost that we built Truth Social, our beachhead against big tech, an impenetrable beachhead that everybody said couldn't be done without using big tech companies, that was built for a fraction of what many of these big tech dinosaur companies were built for. So even if you take the ridiculous cost that it took us to get to this point, we are well positioned. Why are we well positioned? Because we have no debt. We're coming out of this with no debt, a platform that works really, really well, that communicates to millions of people, and then we have $200 million in the bank. So as you move forward here, we're looking at the entire ecosystem. What does it take to make sure that we protect people in the United States and around the globe from these tyrants of big tech who want to silence them? So we're looking at the whole ecosystem, whether that's through acquiring technology, whether that's through building technology. Those are all the issues that we're focused on, and including, making sure that we're dealing with like a 3-year plan here, where we can go out and put this whole company together, where we're not relying on big tech. There's never been a company like this, and we're really the only game in town that can accomplish this. And Maria, you talk about something that's amazing. I think this is the most amazing part about our company, the retail investors. So when we went out to get this merger, it took a while. One of the reasons, not just the regulation, but we had almost 400,000 people, retail shareholders, who had invested in this company. Now, guess what's happened over the last couple weeks? We think we've added over 200,000 new retail investors.
One of the primary challenges faced by new social media apps is the overwhelming dominance of established platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. These platforms have amassed billions of users over the years and have become fundamental for communication.